So hello everyone, and welcome to today's masterclass, AI and Digital Twins across key smart city domains. Thank you for joining us. In this session, we will discover how artificial intelligence and digital twins are reshaping the way cities are planned, built, and managed. From urban planning and policy development to construction process and urban mobility, these technologies are creating smarter, safer, and more sustainable cities for the future. My name is Thaisa Figueiredo. I'm Institutional Relations and Product Owner here at Ziggurat, and I'm thrilled to be your host today. And if you are new to Ziggurat, here's a quickly introduction. We are an online education institution with over 20 years of experience in e-learning. Our programs cover architecture, engineering, and technology management, helping professionals worldwide boost their careers. And we are proud of our global community, more than 20,000 students from over 100 countries. At Ziggurat, we believe in unlimited possibilities, unlimited knowledge, unlimited future, success, leadership, and imagination. And that spirit of limitless growth starts right here with all of you. And before we dive into this session, let's try to make it a little bit interactive. And so I invite you to put in the chat, where are you joining us from today? I'm here from Barcelona, talking with you, presenting this session. Manuela is also with me. So let's try to keep the energy high and stay connected through the session. I will wait your answers in the chat, okay? Telling us where are you connecting from. And today's session is deeply connected to our flagship program, the Masters in Global Smart City Management. This program equips professionals to develop and manage sustainable and inclusive urban initiatives based on the best international standards. To tell you more, please welcome my colleague Manuela Barbeiro, International Admissions Team Manager at Ziggurat. Manuela, thank you, and it's over to you now.
Thank you, Taisha. So welcome everyone. Today I'd like to introduce you to the Master in Global Smart City Management. As you can see from the title, this program is about reshaping cities and transforming lives. The idea is simple but powerful, how we can design and manage cities that are not only smarter, but also more sustainable, inclusive, and truly focus on the well-being of citizens. This master offers a one-year program fully online in English, awarding a dual degree from Ziggurat Institute of Technology and University of Barcelona. It's structured around the 60 CTS that are credits, giving students both the academic rigor and the practical tools to engage with real-world challenges. So from the very beginning, the program invites students to think big. So to imagine city of the future where technology and human needs are balanced and where innovation leads to a better quality of life for all. Can you go to the next slide? So in the next slide, show the roadmap of the master. So it begins with a welcome block to set the foundation, follow of three main blocks of strategy and citizen engagement, new technology and tools, and sustainability and resilience. So finally, the student complete a final master project developed through the year to put the theory into the practice. So overall, we talk about three dimensions: quality of life, technology, and sustainability. If you go in the next slide, now we are asking, so the question is, why choosing Ziggurat? So because it's a top-ranked master in urban planning, recognized from training experts in smart cities. So this program stands out. It's an interdisciplinary approach, combining different professional backgrounds and for offering an integrating vision of smart cities. So covering citizenship, mobility, and environment. Most importantly, it provides an end-on learning with real case studies, so preparing students for real-world impact. In the next slide, we have other strengths of Ziggurat, and one is the global network. Alumni and hubs are spread across the world, creating opportunities for collaboration and connection everywhere. The program follows international best practices, offer personalized support, and connect students with a diverse global community. Most importantly, it opens career boosting opportunity, linking graduates to international company in real project. We arrive in the last slide, and now we talk about a little bit more about the career opportunity that this master offer. Can you go to the next? Thank you. So this master opens two doors to a wider range of career paths. A graduate can work as urban technology and digital solution in startups and enterprises, or as smart city consultant or manager. Other opportunities include urban planning, project management, and manages city services in operation like energy, transport, waste. In short, it keeps professional to lead innovation sustainability in the city of tomorrow. So if you have just to finish my speech with just a phrase, what this master is just not about managing cities. It's about transforming the future or how we live in them. So thank you very much to all of you. I hope that you enjoy the rest of the master class with other two colleagues. And thank you, Taisha, to introduce me.
Thank you so much, Manuela. It was perfect. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce our speakers and experts for today's session. Guillermo Corral, with 10 years of experience in architecture, urban design, and consulting. He is urban design lead at MCorn Architecture and Urban Design, lecturer in our Masters in Global Smart City Management, and constant for the Zaragoza City Council. And with him will be we have also Khaled Daher, who he is Railway Installation General Manager at CAF, Global True Leader in Smart City Mobility at the Smart City Council, and also lecturer in our Masters in Global Smart City Management. A quickly reminder to our audience before pass you the floor, Guillermo and Khaled. Uh, Everyone, if you have any question during the session, please drop them in the chat. We will address them at during the Q&A at the end, okay? At the end of the session. Guillermo, Khaled, welcome. It's a real pleasure to have you with us always. So the stage is all yours now. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Thaisa.
Thank you. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, we can go directly to presentations. So good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Good evening. Thanks, Sigurat, for the organization of this masterclass and for the invitation, and of course, Thaisa and Manuela for your introductions and support in the preparation of this masterclass. And thanks also, Khaled, for joining this joint lecture today, or this masterclass as well. I also want to thank all of the assistants today attending this masterclass to share all your locations. I really see a wide variety of locations there, including all continents and the three languages of Sigurat. I can also say buenas tardes, boa tarde, bom dia from Portugal, from Brazil, from Spain, from Dublin as well, from Africa, Saudi Arabia, India, etc. So I'm really excited because this is a global program, and your assistance today gives or reinforces our purpose. My name is Guillermo Corral, just to not repeat what Thaisa has already presented of me. I have the double condition of lecturer, but also alumni of Sigurat, and I can say that in my 10 years of experience, I had a middle point in 2020 that beyond COVID, it was when I joined this particular master's in global smart city management, and I can say that from there my 5 last years have been totally different than my 5 previous, so it was a really big change, and that's one of the reasons why I'm very happy for all of you to join us today. And I want to, of course, I'm eager to share all the contents prepared for you today. Also, it's important, and I'll give the floor to Khaled for his presentation. It's important to highlight that both Khaled and myself are hybrid profiles, which means that we cover architecture and engineering backgrounds, but we are training ourselves every day in new technological opportunities. So we do cover both architectural and engineering disciplines, but it's important to acknowledge that we are working with a wide range of technologies that some of them will be presented today and are applicable to the Smart City Masters. And that's why I want to highlight the last point in partnering with the BIM manager of my practice in Dublin, of MCORM, in the technological upskilling of the practice in city information modeling and artificial intelligence. And this is something I would like to specifically highlight in the context of master planning, urban design, and smart cities overall. Khaled, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Guillermo, and thank you, Taiza and Manuela, and thank you all attendants. My name is Khaled Daher, and I'm Railway and Station General Manager with CAF, leading the Jerusalem Light Rail Network project. I have also had the chance to work in other landmark projects such as the Riyadh Metro project, the Cairo Monorail. In parallel, I lecture a global masters in smart city management with the God Institute of Technology in Spain, focusing on smart construction, smart mobility, digital transformation in cities. As a global thought leader with Smart Cities Council, I believe railways, smart mobility are not only about technology and infrastructure, but also about building sustainable cities and creating bridges for peace and collaboration for everyone. So let's start our interesting topic today with Guillermo.
Thanks very much, Khaled. So just this first slide, and to kick off again and referring to the career options or the career opportunities that Manuela was covering a moment ago, I think this masterclass reflects those opportunities because we are here an engineer and an architect in a joint masterclass covering this wide range of topics of course in a high level in the format of this masterclass. We're gonna do a small but exhaustive at the same time trip from strategic urban planning onto joint design between the different disciplines towards smart construction and the mobility input. Next slide. So yeah, the first section would be strategic urban planning and the application of the emerging urban AI for these solutions, urban artificial intelligence. You can keep going. Perfect. So we were talking about a different wide range of stakeholders. The profile of a smart city manager at the end liaises with government, the private sector, other disciplines like town planners, engineers, etc. So basically, we do have the opportunity to use digital twins in order to create the dynamic strategies and decision making. This decision making won't be casual anymore, has to be data driven, and furthermore, we can have artificial intelligence driven simulations testing different scenarios before committing to significant investment. So even before progressing on to detailed design, and of course even before addressing any investment, in a short period of time, we are talking about one day, or in further detail, we can say 1 week, we can test different solutions in a given urban context before addressing a project that can take us several months, even a year, and of course an investment that should be for at least a life cycle of 50 or 100 years. Next one. So basically, most of you would be familiar with this cycle as you are coming from the construction industry. We have a cycle which is planning, analyzing, having a conceptual design informed by the previous stages, analyze again according to how our design responds to the context, developing that design into a detailed solution, analyze again if that design is working properly, generating documentation, and then going into the construction section, which is what my colleague Khaled will cover. In this, if we focus on the first stages in the design cycle, we don't need purpose, we don't need a strategy, because we don't need to respond to current urban problems. These problems or these challenges are not local, they are global. That's why we celebrate the wide diversity of locations that you are coming from. If we were having here a debate, we will agree that we are facing common challenges across the globe, and that's why it's important to focus on the why and not on the how in an initial strategic approach. We need to give strategic responses. A strategic response doesn't mean necessarily high level. What it does mean is that it consolidates a long-term workflow rather than a tactical short-term solution, and that's why the Smart City Masters is about. And of course, when we have this purpose and this strategy, it's much easier to implement available tools that can accelerate the achievements of these objectives. And one of the aims of this masterclass is to show you how different solutions applied with purpose can help us for these aims. We will talk about urban artificial intelligence, city information modeling, digital twins in this stage, but also Khaled will talk about intelligent mobility, digital construction, etc. Next one. So, we were talking about cities of tomorrow, but I would say even cities of tomorrow starting today, because our future is already coming at this moment. In the past, we were talking about the different industrial revolutions that were taking at least a couple of decades, at least. Currently, we are moving really, really fast, and we have a window that is basically timed in months. We're talking about a window of 12, 18 months in where we have available tools that make us transition or help us to transition towards or from a traditional urban design coming from the 20th century, more technical, more intuitive at the same time, while now we can use the term of urban science because we are getting into evidence-based responses. If we apply current tools in the analysis stage, we can see that our interventions in the built environment can have socioeconomic impacts, and as well, if we liaise with the economic sectors, we were talking about consulting, multi-stakeholder engagement, we can also demonstrate that if we put talent, innovation, industries, etc., integrated in a well-designed urban design and infrastructure within a given context in a constrained location, we can see that let's say the performance of the city can be increased in an exponential level. Next one. We are going to see an academic case study, and I'm really eager to share with you what do we essentially do in the masters as the final master project. So in practical terms, what do we do in these masters, okay? And I'm going to show you quickly, given the time, two examples of final master projects that apply let's say the approach of the Smart City Master and also the available technology. So we were talking about modeling the city, and this team formed by John Andrew Ferry, Hebe Garate, Julian Fernandez, and Peter Sanjay, supervised by myself in that final master project, created a neighborhood livability framework in which they modeled the city, and quantitatively speaking, they understood what is the magic of the neighborhood and what indicators make a neighborhood good to live in, happy to live in, and inclusive to live in. And they compared two case studies in Knoxville and Abando in the cities of Pittsburgh in the USA and Bilbao in Spain. In this case, as you can see, they were not talking about the city anymore, and this is relevant to comment as well. They were talking about the neighborhood scale, which is important to, let's say, the smart city principles scale down into the neighborhood, into the really the scale where humans live. Next one. So they created the minimum livability framework. You can go ahead. This neighborhood established different indicators, and these indicators were basically fundamented on the intergenerational pattern. So basically, we are talking here about the social dimension of the city, so human development, social interaction, and what are the priority needs of services for the inhabitants of the city. Then they talk about proximity. So we can say the physical dimension of the city, the urban design of the city, is the city responding to that 15-minute city, meaning services to the doorstep of or services to a 15-minute sustainable mobility journey. And then they were talking about city topology, which is more related to the geography of the city. Is the city fractal? Is the city linear? Is the city organic? Are the networks of the city established, changing? Do they need to be upgraded? And do the available services respond to those needs analyzed in the previous indicators? Next one. So if we get a step out of this pragmatism, let's say we can get theoretical references that are fully applicable in this 21st century. So we can talk, for example, about Jane Jacobs, who was an urbanist in the, let's say, in the second half of the 20th century, who was talking about the complexity of the city. So meaning that functional cities in which the different uses are separated are not helpful anymore. They don't work. They are really car reliant, and people are not happy within them. And Jane Jacobs put the foundations of the 15-minute city model that we think it's trendy now, it's present, but it's not. It was already established some decades ago, but of course is a key driver for how cities are designed now. So for how intelligent cities, intelligent meaning satisfying people's need, and satisfying people's needs is an indicator of performance. This 15-minute city model informs the city topology, meaning the urban form, facilitating this mix of uses, this complexity, having basically housing, which we are in a global crisis now, but we need to deliver housing, we need to deliver places for work, and we need to deliver places for play, for enjoy, for inclusion. And these three key functions have to be within a proximity model. And that's why what Jane Jacobs says, and of course we are getting those principles from 60, 70 years ago and trying to apply them in present. Next one. So basically, this proximity also translates what I want to say in this slide. It also translates to the key sources of the city. And just a key example, we can talk about food, water, materials, energy. This is a building in Barcelona that generates its own energy just with PV photovoltaic panels in the wall. It's not about generating great amount of energy within the city. It's about generating the energy that the city needs at a local level. So the city gets more resilient because it doesn't need energy abroad. It generates its own energy, and therefore we are talking about a smart city because it's self-sufficient. Next one. So getting as well another reference as Jane Jacobs, but this one is more present, and I invite you all to read the book that they published. It's authored by Ramon Gras and Jeremy Burke. It's City Science, and the main conclusion is that the performance of the city follows form, saying it in the opposite. The topology of the city, how the city is arranged, the urban design of the city constrains performance or influences performance or informs performance, because they analyzed 100 metropolitan areas across the globe, and they determined that mostly all responded to just 10 universal development patterns. When we talk about development patterns, we can talk about linear city, a city that's articulated in the grid, an atomized city, random, organic, garden, monumental, or at the end fractal, that is the city that repeats the same geometry across. So basically, understanding the city as a complex system of systems, we can analyze, or we can determine, or we can detect how its performance follows its urban form, and we can see that socioeconomic indicators are closely related with form indicators. When I mean form indicators, I mean, for example, the number of intersections in a given area, the number of given green areas, the proximity to a local food market, and so on. Next one. So getting back to this final master project, they determined, according to all this theoretical background, they established different indicators articulated in society, economic, and environment. And these three categories are not random. They come from a United Nations paper and particularly from an initiative of the United Nations called United for Sustainable Smart Cities, Union for Sustainable Smart Cities. And within these categories, they said that the neighborhood has to be measured according to its sense of purpose, social engagement, good health, sustenance, safety, in the economic level, income, learning, enjoyment, and in the environment, what is the engagement with nature. And we can also talk about overall resilience of the city and how green and blue systems are integrated. Next one. So this is the reference I gave. So Khaled, you can go ahead. So basically, they generated a tool, and all that we've been talking in the narrative dimension can be translated into maps, and this basically helps to understand how cities are performing. And of course, setting things visually helps to engage with stakeholders, communicate better, make a more efficient consulting, if this is the case, and deliver solutions in a smarter way. And this is also about smart city management. It's about not just the purpose and the strategy, but also delivering in a more efficient way. And this is an example that exemplifies that really clear. Next one. We're gonna see a comparison of maps. So you're always gonna see the US neighborhood on the left-hand side and the Spanish neighborhood on the right-hand side. So in this instance, we can see how health is provided in the US, in the American neighborhood, and how health is provided in the Spanish neighborhood in Bilbao. You can see a much greater dispersion in Pittsburgh, or even you can see inequality between different neighborhoods. So neighborhoods that enjoy health service in the proximity in very white, and neighborhoods that don't enjoy it in dark. While in Bilbao, this is more distributed, and there is a much clearer concentration in the compact city model. Next one. So we can be seeing different categories. This is, for example, proximity of grocery store. Here you can see the dispersion and the polycentrism, while in Bilbao you can see it's much more homogeneous and well distributed throughout a much more compactor city. Next one. In this case, we can talk about the different green areas. So I forgot to say that the neighborhood that we are analyzing is highlighted in purple dashed line. So while in Bilbao is benefiting from again more distributed network of green spaces, in Knoxville we just have big parks, which is more the American model, the suburban model, and therefore we don't have any significant green area within the area given. Next one. So getting the purpose of this intelligent mapping exercise, we can now transit into the urban AI concept, which is fully applicable to urban planning, of course. And getting a definition, we can say that urban artificial intelligence refers to any system that incorporates data from the urban environment. So basically, data is captured from the physical dimension, from the built environment, from what we can touch, is then processed by algorithms, of course, stored and managed in a big data system. And then the result of this process is highlighted in different complex applications that help decision makers to take the best decisions, because these decisions are data based and evidence based. We just have to call attention here, because according to a very interesting urban artificial intelligence guide published by the Urban AI think tank, which I recommend you to visit, there are three important elements that distinguish urban AI from any other source of artificial intelligence that you might already be used to. So we are not talking here about autonomous machines. We are not talking here about ChatGPT. We are talking about a source of artificial intelligence that has its own particularities. So next one, Khaled. So basically, these factors that make urban AI different to other artificial intelligence applications is the complexity of the city. So the city has to be analyzed in different layers, in different systems, different disciplines. We also have specific policy contexts that particularly generate local differences in between countries and cultures, and these influence decision-making processes. So we have to be careful when we curate an urban AI solution that can be universal. Of course it can, and it's the final purpose of these masters to generate global solutions. But at the same time, we have to be careful to adapt those universal solutions into specific policy context and how people make decisions in different cultures and different areas of the world. And of course, as I was saying before, it has a hybrid nature. The technological layer or the digital layer that we don't see, it's important, but the physical layer is also important because the procedence of the data is physical, and the city has physical problems, and the problems are in the city itself. The problems are not in the cloud, the problems are in the streets. So we have to be very careful about the materiality and the infrastructural component of this AI, because it cannot operate as others do, for example, in marketing disciplines or in pure data analyst disciplines. In this case, we are not just operating in a digital environment, we are operating in a hybrid environment, and that's why we have to take care of both. Next one. So this is an example of how artificial intelligence can be embedded in already running smart city platforms. This is, for example, an architectural or an architecture, sorry, an architecture of a smart city platform. In this case, this drawing is from the Valencia smart city platform, which I recommend you to go to their website, to Smart City Valencia, and you can see the advancements of their smart city framework since 2014. But we can enhance, of course, these already running platforms with new ways of artificial intelligence. We can talk about, for example, predictive AI and machine learning in the management of databases and in the dashboards that city officers and decision makers are using, because if we put predictive AI, we can, for example, increase the anticipation to natural disasters, traffic congestion, etc., by analyzing the city 365. The city is like a human organism. It has patterns. It has things that are repeating day by day. So if we get artificial intelligence understanding this repetition and analyzing how data has different patterns, or the capture of data identifies different patterns, AI can do it for us. And of course, we can apply generative AI in other more sophisticated IT inputs, like the management of big data, or help developers that are currently working in the maintenance or the enhancement of this IT smart city platform. Next one. And of course, I just have the chat there because I'm seeing interesting comments. Ahmed is clearly saying that security of applying these data solutions, for sure. And we cover that security of the solutions and of the human identities of the citizens as well. So that's a very good comment, because we have to ensure that we are not vulnerable to cyber attacks. We are getting more reliant into digital systems. So that's totally true. We need to make sure that our data is well secured and all our processes are not vulnerable to cyber attacks. And again, if we are digitalizing our systems, citizens are a key source of data and their identities have to be protected. So security is key in this matter as well. Very good comment. Just in the last section of my presentation, I want to talk about the role of GIS in urban AI. We also cover geographic information systems in our Global Smart City Masters as an application of towards smart city. And in this case, I know, for example, is a great tool to analyze the city by an AI-driven tool. If you go to the next one, Khaled. This is, for example, a model that is already given by Aino, by the tool, which is the 15-minute city. And in this case, we can analyze how the model of the 15-minute city work. We can prompt, if you go to the next one, we can see the interface. You can see that we have a chat on the left-hand side where we can prompt and we can give different instructions to the platform, and we can obtain our map automatically without needing to draw, and we can do the analysis that we want. For example, this is an analysis to identify where the existing or residential uses are in this given area. Next one. Basically, as most of you will know, just a commentary on BIM and GIS. The interaction of BIM and GIS is crucial to build our digital twins, because at the end we can have a building information model that is upscaled and converted into a city itself, into a neighborhood, and then we won't be talking about BIM itself, we would be talking about SIM, city information model. But for that city information model, GIS is essential, because we have a geographical location to be used in any smart city project. Next one. So very quickly about this example of BIM plus GIS integration, I just want to show another practical example of what we do in these masters. This is a final master project of Hamal, Ahmad, and Mukatash. So next one. They built a platform. Even Khaled, if you go to the next one, we'll see a more interested image. So yeah, we have, let's say, the urban planning dimension of a given BIM plus GIS model. And if you go to the next image, we can even show how it's a smart map. That's why it's called smart map, because we can see the buildings themselves. We can see every building information model embedded in an overall city information model, where we can have the buildings in all the stages, from design onto the existing building. And then in terms of practical application of what councils are doing, we have the example of Helsinki with their own digital twin measuring patterns or indicators such as energy data, solar energy, heat demand, or geoenergy. And you can visit Helsinki City Council to know more about this. Yeah, and this is related to the same example. So basically, to conclude and give the floor to my colleague Khaled, data is a raw material, but what we do really need are urban insights for this purpose and this strategy I was talking about a moment ago. Next one. Because if we are not careful, we can see that there is a lot to be done. This masters is not about emergency response, but with smart urban planning, with smart urban management, we can anticipate for sure to these disasters. So Khaled, all for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Guillermo. Thank you for your great presentation slides. Now, it's my topic. We'll talk about smart construction and adaptive urban development. The next slide is about smart construction, is about building cities that learn and adapt by using AI, digital twins. We can design spaces that respond to people real needs. It's not just about building structures, it's shaping the future of urban life. Now, when we are talking about why smart construction matter today, we are talking about cities. Smart cities are growing fast, and by 2050, most of the world will live in them. Construction already creates almost 40% of global CO2 emissions, which is toxic. Smarter methods can turn this from a problem into solution, into opportunity for sustainability, to protect our next generation, to protect our planet. So what is smart construction? Why we are talking about today about smart construction? It's where technology meets building, AI, IoT, BIM, building information modeling, and digital twins working together with real-time data. Projects face fewer delays and fewer surprises. The result is cheaper, greener, and safer construction. At least it's a tool for anticipation for us. It's real-time data for better decision making. Now I'll show you the first video for today. Let's talk about smart construction.
Welcome, my name is Neil. Today I'll be your guide, tomorrow your smart construction advisor. But before asking what is smart construction, let's first ask why smart construction?
Today's revolution in our industry has a name, and it's digital transformation. Thanks to technological progress, we're now able to gather data remotely in real time about the man, materials and machines on your job site. But what is data? if not correctly interpreted to create meaningful information. A waste of time.
This is where smart construction steps in. Gather all the data with the latest IoT sensors and process it with our unique software and interpret it with our advisors' experiences to get the best added value.
So a short video about smart construction. Imagine that cities can adjust to change social, economic environment. Adaptive development means flexible design that grows people, lives. It makes our cities more resilient and future ready and resistant for like earthquakes, for flood water, for all the conflicts can happen later. So it's like anticipation again. We were talking about the rule for digital twins, which is the trend for our life now. We're talking about digital twin is like a living replica of a building or system today. It predicts issues before they happen and guides better decisions. It tries to fix the issues in advance. With it, we prevent downtime and keeps it safe against anything might happen later. And digital twins is not only for structures, it's for mobility, for all smart cities pillars, we can say. AI in construction project management. AI can help forecast delays and propose solution before problems grow. Dashboards keep everyone connected, reducing confusion and blame. So no one is blaming each other. It's like teamwork and cities work. It's teamwork powered by intelligence, by digital twin. So we can forecast the delays in advance and suggest preventive action in advance as well. It's another video about this topic.
What's something people don't know about AI in construction? It's not just futuristic tech. It's revolutionizing how we build today. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is transforming the construction landscape. From small residential builds to massive infrastructure projects, AI is making every phase smoother and faster. Think about it. AI-enabled 3D construction mapping provides real-time transparency. Everyone from the project manager to the site worker can see progress at a glance. AI also streamlines collaboration. Design and construction teams can work together seamlessly, no matter where they are in the world. Gone are the days of endless site visits and paperwork. With AI, tasks like RFIs, shop drawings, and quality control become a breeze. Less human intervention means fewer errors and faster completion times. AI isn't just a futuristic concept. It's here, and it's changing the game. Ready to take your construction projects to the next? What's something people...
So you can see your building in advance by AI, by the tools, and you can see if you have any clash in advance for the construction, for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, so you can solve them in advance. Now, we're talking about optimizing the planning, logistics, and material use. Don't forget that robots and drones deliver the materials now, exactly when and where they're needed. Like sensors, we install sensors to track supplies automatically, the materials, saving times and waste. It's construction with precision, we can say, not guesswork, not I guess, I think. No, we have like for sure tasks and we can solve them in advance. Now, reducing waste and inefficiencies. AI rethinks how work is done on site, removing bottlenecks, idle time, wasting time. Materials arrive just in time, not too late or too early. We have anticipation, we have plans, so AI can support us to deliver the materials as should be done. That means less waste, more saving, and smoother flow. So we can achieve the task, milestones, we can achieve them on time, even sometime ahead of time. Now, AI, when we talk about AI also, enhancing site safety with AI, I'll show you a video that AI predicts risks based on past accidents and real-time data, wearable tech, working health, and the HSE, PPE as well, prevent fatigue related to dangerous, safety become proactive, not reactive. So in this video, you can see that CCTV doesn't just watch us, it protects us by detecting risks early and keeping people safe in advance. So again, CCTV doesn't just watch us, it protects us by detecting risk and notify us that, okay, you miss helmet, you miss vest, so you should wear it. Now, for case study, we have a real example case study from Barcelona. At Barcelona Sagrada Familia, sensors and drones watch every detail there. They detect tiny shifts in infrastructure to avoid long-term damage. This show like traditional meets smart innovation. It's very old place, like holy place as well. So we use AI there to help us, to protect us, also to support us for advancing construction there by drones. And everyone who's living in Barcelona, they know very well Gili, Taisa, and Manuela, this place. And connecting smart construction to smart cities. For sure, construction AI, construction doesn't stand alone. It powers smart cities, building with IoT, manage their own energy uses. Success comes when cities, planners, citizens work hand in hand. Citizens are the key for us, and their satisfaction is our concern. Now, we have challenges and consideration for sure for each project in our life. We have a lot of challenges. Now, when we talk about smart construction faced hardness, data quality integration, and high costs, workers need a new digital skills to keep up, to keep following as well. But with the right focus, with the right tool, the challenges become opportunities. So, for example, we have workforce skills by training. We can give them training. We can give them technology as well, tools, and the high cost. And these all challenges are opportunities for us to invest with them. Now, skills for the next generation, for the next people, for our kids, for our next people, for fresh graduate as well. Tomorrow's professional must master AI, BIM, GIS, and IoT. Beyond technical skills, they will need ethical awarenesses. The builders of tomorrow are digital leaders too. So this is the big question for the current fresh graduate or for the people, for the students in school, what we need to do for future. AI, IoT, smart cities are the trends for them. Final thought and key takeaways. Smart construction makes cities more sustainable, efficient, and human. AI and digital twins are reshape how we build, how we use, how we protect resources. This is not the future, it's happening now. My next topic is about smart mobility and AI-driven transportation. Railway, autonomous vehicles, electrical vehicles. Sustainable mobility is the transport that protects the planet. Walking, cycling, trains, electrical cars reduce emissions. It's how we make cities healthier and cleaner for all our citizens. And we have to define the sustainable mobility. Mobility must include everyone, the old people, disabled, low income communities, accessible, poor, rich, for all, not just a few. True smart cities never leave anyone behind. So include everyone. It's inclusive cities. And we talk about key elements for sustainable and accessible mobility systems. We're talking about integrated transport network like buses, metros, autonomous vehicles, electrical vehicles, shared mobility, and cities become fluid and connected together. This is the foundation of a smart system. Now, the developed cities or developed countries, they have smart transportation system. You don't need to have a car there. You can just go by metro, by bus, by shared vehicles from destination A to destination B. Now, we have benefits for sustainable and accessibility mobility. We have economic benefits, we have better, we have environment, we have social benefits. Better, let us remind something. Better mobility brings economic growth, cleaner air, healthier lives. It reduces traffic, connect people to jobs, and support active living. The impact is felt across society, we can say. And in Japan now uses robots also for railway, like AI with railway. These robots claim balls to repair for repair system, for troubleshooting, for fixing new equipment, keeping human out of danger. AI predicts failures before they even happen. So in this video, I will show you here we see technology in action and a humanoid robot fixing a railway. It's very dangerous to put a human or person to fix this error like electricity. It shows how AI and robotics are making transport safer, smarter, and more efficient, and even will protect our people there. You can see this robot. This is we call it OCS, overhead catenary system. If we need to make maintenance for this, catenary is very, very dangerous. And it's cutting trees around railway tracks. to avoid any clash, to avoid any shocks. It's all catenary system, live one. So we use this robot to clean, to maintain, and troubleshoot any error might happen. So it's again AI plus human, better results. Now we have for sure challenges to achieving sustainable and accessible mobility. Change requires investment and modernization as well. People sometimes resist new tech, like autonomous vehicles. Overcoming fear and building trust is the key to success. Okay, for example, autonomous vehicles. Some people they think it will take our drivers' job opportunities, which is the opposite. We'll talk at the end of the slides about this point. For digital twin is smart mobility. Digital twin is a live mirror of roads and vehicles. It helps simulate traffic, plan routes, and cut congestions. With it, cities test tomorrow's mobility today, so we can anticipate in advance what will happen, what might happen tomorrow. And we have another trend, it's called blockchain for smart mobility, securing the future of urban transport. Blockchain secures communication between vehicles and systems. It protects against hacks, ensures transparency, protect our data privacy as well. The result is safer and more trustworthy mobility network. So you will trust the system even more against hackers. And we have another application. It's called Mass Mobility as Service, which one application it brings together buses, bikes, ride hailing, and rentals. Simplify planning. Can book your trip from A to Z, booking and paying in one step. Mobility as Service makes transport easy, efficient, and green. I'll show you a video about this trend.
Together with Revere, we connect different modes of transport on your journey easily, comfortably, and seamlessly. At Siemens, we are combining the real and the digital worlds by establishing an open platform that connects several mobility providers with riders via a central hub. Based on our mobility as a service technology, everyone can use their favorite mobility app to plan, book, and pay for the journeys that are important. Whether by bike and tram, scooter and bus, or train and taxi, the mobility solutions we create with partners like Revere help you travel effortlessly. Together, we make intermodal travel as easy as it gets. Let's transform the everyday for a better tomorrow, together.
So mobility as service makes public transport more attractive and user-friendly. Cities become more livable and sustainable. Now we have the last one is called AFC, Automated Fare Collection. Smart payments replace long queues and paper tickets with cards, with phone, or biometrics. Fare collection becomes like seamless. It reduces fraud and links to other cities' services. Now, from metros to e-scooters, one system handles it all. The experience is smooth, fast, and secure. It's the backbone of modern public transport. When you go to metro station, you can pay by your tickets, but by your phone, by even now in Dubai they have a technology by palm, by your hand you can pay as well. And we have a challenge. It's called fare evasion is a challenge, but technology helps to stop it. Smart systems protect revenue and ensure fairness. Everyone pays their share and trust the system more. I'll show you this video, funny video about how people trying to make evade, to make evasion for the AFC gates. It's no sound for sure, but just only video. People are trying to jump over the gates, but with CCTV, with AI, we catch them now. And instead of pay €2, they are jumping and they will get a fine after that. Instead, they invest a lot of time to escape from the gates. So at the end, it come like evasion, and she will be detected with security officers there. So unfortunately, this is AFC, and this is what we face. Before we come to the end, I would like to see the questions. A question for both of you. What would you say is the main challenge for applying AI and digital twins in cities or countries in development? I think about the lack of data, for example, or delay in technology. The risk or the challenges for applying data, the infrastructure, we can say, the first infrastructure for the developing countries, not yet in the at level of connecting with them. The solution is we can make like building a new sensors, a new networks, a new communications to enable people to connect, to be connected with everyone, with the healthcare, with the economy, with the smart mobility. So we can say the infrastructure now. We have two types of cities. We have brownfield, we have greenfield. Brownfield, where we have existing cities where we need to invest a lot of money for retrofit, for building new systems. And greenfield, when we have cities from the beginning, from scratch, we need to build everything, and easier for us. For my
Thank you.
I
part,
do have,
Thank you,
I do
thank
have
you.
yes, sure.
an additional answer to Lucia because I think it's a very interesting question.
Exactly. Let me get back my screen because we are
Perfect.
now.
Yeah.
Let me understand. We move on now to the Q&A. No, let's move on to the
Yeah.
Q&A. Help me with the questions. We have some questions in the chat. So Khaled, Gile, feel free to repeat the questions and then answer. Okay? Because
Perfect.
people will receive the recording, so it's important to they know the question.
Yeah, okay. So Khaled was answering to the last one from Lucia, and she was talking about, I think Khaled already read, but just to remind, what would you say is the main challenges for applying AI and digital twins in cities in underdeveloped or developing countries? And I think Khaled was talking about the lack of data or giving solution to the lack of data, which is what Lucia is proposing, or also the delay in technology. And I do have another answer. I think, and it's more about this. This answer is more humanist than technological. I think it's also a matter of mentality and knowledge. Okay, because of course, knowledge is very related to investment. Because if we don't have money or we have very little money, but we even don't have the knowledge, we don't know how to invest that money. Because in many developing countries, there is more money than we think. The problem is that the money is not going into the correct place. And I can give you an example which is not of a developing country. Well, I can give you two examples very quickly. One is in Catalonia in Spain, but it is a good contrast because I'm not talking about Barcelona or any big city. I'm talking about a town or a village of 1,800 inhabitants. Okay, so below 2,000 inhabitants. It doesn't have a railway system, it doesn't have a motorway, it's 2 hours car drive from Barcelona. Now, this town generates half of the energy that it needs. I'm doing consulting for this town and I was really thrilled by this. So basically, they calculated that average they need 1.5 gigabytes per hour, and they are generating in peak with photovoltaic. It doesn't mean that they always generate this, but in peak they have capacity to generate 0.7, okay, or 0.75, which is half. And this is because the decision makers do have the mentality to get into these projects. Then they say, okay, we have a small budget, so we are going to go step by step. And now, for example, what they are doing is they have some investment for retrofitting of heritage within the, as Khaled was saying, brownfield cities. Okay, this is a brownfield example. They do have money to recover or repurpose a historical house, and they incorporate PV panels in the top. So they have to do this retrofitting anyway, but they have the mentality of the building to be not just sustainable, but self-sufficient. And that's smart city, and that is mentality. And to respond to the lack of knowledge, I'd say not the delay of technology, the lack of knowledge. It's that in the smart city masters, we in some units we present knowledge networks. Okay, so this means, for example, an open beam software is an open source, is an open network. So if all these technologies, some of you were talking about Internet of Things, AI, etc. So in this cooperation model, we should tend to universal solutions so that these countries that are a bit behind can use these innovative solutions and can adapt them to their context. And an example I will just mention, don't explain, but for example, Curitiba in Brazil is one very good example of sustainable solutions, okay, in waste management, resilience, and so on. So we do have examples in countries that are not, in North America or Europe, etc. But it's about mentality.
Perfect. Thank you, Khaled. Thank you, Gile.
Amazing.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
We do have more. I don't know if we have time.
Yeah, I saw some like if maybe for Khaled, with IoT, how can we secure our data?
With the IoT, okay,
Right.
okay. For IoT, okay, we have a blockchain to be connected as well, also with the IoT, with the digital twins. The security of data is not only with IoT, with everything, with the current system now. If we don't have firewall, if we don't have cybersecurity systems, wise one, our data will be at risk. Our life even will be at risk. Our bank account will be at risk. So now the technology is including blockchain to encrypt, everything, to have firewalls, to have cybersecurity. When we have IoT sensors in the streets, we have sensors in our home, we have sensors everywhere. We need to build a software and data system to protect this data from end user to processor, we can say. With the blockchain as well, we have cybersecurity system, we have firewall to protect and keep our data in safe place with high privacy.
Perfect, Khaled. We are out of time now, so I invite everyone to connect with Guillermo and Khaled on LinkedIn and ask them your doubts, your questions. Connect with them. Feel free to ask the questions. And I would only ask you, Khaled and Gile, do you want to leave a message to our audience before we close the session?
Yes. Thank you for joining us on this journey today. Together, we can make our cities more sustainable and connected. The future of mobility depends on all of us. The future of smart cities depends on all of us. This is not just only about technology, it's about people, peace, better lives. With AI, digital twins, mobility, healthcare, economy, we are designing hope for future. Thank you again.
And I don't have anything to add from Khaled. I feel totally identified with that. So just to say thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. So a big thank you to Guilherme and Khaled for such an inspiring presentation today. And of course, thank you all for being with us today. Stay tuned for our upcoming events and opportunities. And until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and take care. Thank you.